Hello there ladies and gentlemen, I am Snow Valkyrie and this is my review of Satisfactory. Satisfactory is one of those games that makes my brain release lots of dopamine. It's less addicting than Cractorio, and I will make a video on that game once I'm able to put it down for more than a few hours. But Satisfactory is still fun. It's not a perfect game, and I will give out some criticism throughout the video, but overall I still like it and replay it once or twice a year, with each time progressing faster and faster. Also, for some reason OBS didn't work when I started, so the footage you're seeing is basically late game. Also, I'm playing on the experimental version due to wanting to play update 8 sooner, so there might be some glitches that you see. The game starts quite slowly, especially when you're starting out. It's not that much of a problem, but it does get to me when I can't build lots of production due to power problems, especially when you can't automate it, that is fully without any input until you unlock coal. The chainsaw does help collecting biomass and you can automate compressing it, but you have to fuel the burners by hand. This limits exploration due to not being able to leave the base too far if you don't want production to stop. And talking about exploration, you can find quite a lot of things out there. The map itself is varied and you can find quite a lot of distinct biomes, so you can choose the prettiest place to plop down your main base and destroy the ecosystem there. Aside from that, you can find different things to help out build your base better and more efficient, from different materials to help you out make stuff, especially with alternative recipes, and those are unlocked with hard drives that you have to find in the wild. And of course you can't forget power slugs, which are used for overclocking buildings. And just to see what's out there, the map, which you unlock quite early on, leads you to further explore the game and see what you can unlock. I highly suggest you rush to get blade runners. They massively increase your speed and saves time when going around the map. Going back to the pure exploration part, there are quite a lot of hazards out there, from fart clouds which are emitted from these flower things or these weird husks, to animals which can kill you quite easily. I especially hate hatcheries. These flies deal a lot of damage and are hard to deal with when using melee. Also, there are a lot of spiders, so if you don't like them, there's a setting to make it more presentable. Spitters are less annoying, but the bigger ones can still easily kill you if you're not careful. Didn't have much problems with the hogs. Sure, they can do quite a bit of damage, but they're not that threatening. There are also passive animals and they're just cute. Speaking of difficulty, the game itself isn't that hard to grasp. It's basically a game of ratios. How to efficiently turn 120 iron and 120 coal into as much steel as possible. It's not exactly hard to figure out, and you can use the search feature as a calculator, a feature I use quite a lot. And with blueprints now available, you can plop down big factories quite easily. It does get more in-depth with later recipes, especially with the logistics of all that. And to be honest, that is the hardest part of the game. Later materials are in certain places of the map, which is why you need to design a train system or a vehicle system that is efficient. I'll admit I never really did this because I never got far enough to need that much throughput, and I will try to get more into that later on. The spaceport is the main challenge of the game and basically what you strive for. The required parts take a lot of time to make, and by the time you can start making them, you don't have that much production to make it faster. The last stage, for now, is especially one of them. It takes quite a long time to unlock the necessary things to even start the production. It's also one of those things that hold me back from completing the game faster due to what I call progression stagnation. It's basically when you rather make your factory more efficient than progress the game. That is the reason I spent so much time in this run, because I wanted to make things more efficient and reasonably compact. This is also the first time I played with blueprints, and they massively increased my time spent in making compact designs, which I used to make bigger factories than I did before. I look forward to the next time I play this game and see how fast I can get through the stages. And to be fair, this is basically a chill game. You don't have that many things that push you forward other than coal production, because then you can automate power production. You can spend quite a lot of time trying out decorations and machine designs to make your factory pleasing to the eye. Or be like me and just make your factory a big block. I have tried to make some parts look cool, but overall I am more of a utilitarian kind of guy, especially when it comes to trains. Some people spend a lot of time to make it cool and all, and mine are just clipping all over the terrain. Granted, I did that way more in the past, especially near mountains, and I haven't really used vehicles before, mostly because I saw them as inferior to trains. And they are, but they are unlocked faster than trains, so you can use them before. As for building itself, I would like more foundation forms, but overall there's quite a lot that you can make with what you have. With more time I would probably get into base design much more, but as I said, I only really care about efficiency. I haven't gotten into modding due to the same fear I have with Factorio mods, the possibility to never touch grass anymore, implying I touch it now. But I don't think the mods will be as expensive as in Factorio, due to how it's mostly easier to mod it when it's just a 2D sprite. And besides, we can't really compare the mods available due to how much time either game has been out. But yeah, I may get into modding due to one issue I have with the game, but I will talk about that later. I know I only jokingly said that this game is addicting, but it really is. I really like spending a lot of time figuring out ratios and how to best approach logistics. Not to mention that I still like exploring the world even if I know what's out there. The movement is fun enough to make me excited to go out, especially with Blade Runners. And with the addition of blueprints, I no longer have the mindset of that would be cool to have, but I'm just too lazy to build it. And now onto the main problem, which I can't really explain myself. I somehow get bored of the game way before the end. I usually unlock nuclear energy, and that's when I lose interest. Granted, I start losing it a bit before that, but that's basically it. I have no idea why I get bored of the game. Maybe because I'm not really into the whole logistics part of it, and nuclear power does need quite a bit of thinking of how you get everything around, from making the fuel rods to getting rid of waste. Adding to that, there's basically no replayability. The map is set and everything is in the same place, meaning that after some runs you'll know the places where it's best to set up outposts and bases, but I can't really hold this against the game since I still return to it after some time. And besides, the devs shouldn't focus on players that play the game for hundreds of hours. By that I mean that they should make the game as fun as possible in the first run, and if you have less and less fun in the runs after that, it is what it is. You can't expect to play a single player game for too long. Well, this game does have some problems, but overall I really like it. It's fun and I like trying to make the factory more and more efficient. I hope this inspires other people to make similar games, and I have an eye out for a few, So I hope I have more logistic games to play in the future.